The sun over Johannesburg hung low, dipping behind the hills as the black convoy curved through the iron gates of the Mokoena mansion. The air was heavy, thick with perfume, whispers, and hidden greed. Cameras flashed quietly. Every guest seemed to want proof that they had come to mourn the great Richard Mokoena, the man whose empire had touched nearly every corner of South Africa's construction world. Inside the grand marble hall, chandeliers blinked above a coffin that gleamed like obsidian. His widow, Lindiwe, stood still and composed in a long black dress, her face veiled, not a single tear. Beside her stood their children, Sipho, the eldest son, who ran his father's businesses with arrogant charm, Ayanda, the only daughter forever calculating, and the youngest, Tebogo, who looked too nervous to be convincing. Lindiwe's lips didn't tremble, not even once. The pastor's voice tremored through the air, dust to dust, ash to ash, until we meet again in glory. But as the first shovel hit the soil, Lindiwe's phone buzzed in her clutch. She almost ignored it until she saw the name, Richard. Her hand froze. She blinked, thinking it must be one of those cruel pranks people play when death is fresh. She opened the message, expecting a condolence forwarded from his number still saved on someone's SIM card. But the message was short, too specific, too alive. Don't trust anyone, Lindiwe. I'm not dead. I'm watching. The phone slipped slightly from her hand. Her pulse thundered. She wanted to scream, to drop to her knees, but something deep inside told her to stand still. If this was real, if Richard truly wasn't dead, then someone around her already knew more than she did. She lifted her eyes. Sipho was whispering to Ayanda, both stealing glances toward her. Tebogo stood apart, kicking dirt softly, avoiding their stares. Lindiwe pocketed her phone and forced a weak smile. That night, the mansion was full. Relatives from Durban, cousins from Cape Town, businessmen from Sandton. Everyone wanted to be seen, to be heard, to sip from the wealth that Richard left behind. Lindiwe retreated upstairs, locking her bedroom door. She dialed the number that had texted her. It rang twice, then stopped. Another text came through. If you love me, don't tell anyone. Meet me tomorrow at the old farmhouse in Magalese. Come alone. Her chest tightened. That farmhouse, the one Richard had built before their marriage, the one he said carried too many memories to visit again. She typed quickly, "If this is a joke, stop it. The family is grieving." No reply. The next morning, mist hung over the hills as Lindiwe's black SUV turned off the tar road. Her driver, Vusi, glanced at her in the mirror. "Vusi, madam, we are not supposed to come this side. The road is—" "Lindiwe, I said I'll go alone. Wait for me at the petrol station. You'll be paid extra." She stepped out, high heels sinking slightly into the damp earth, the fog swallowing her figure. The farmhouse stood silent, half restored, half forgotten. She pushed the door gently. It opened. Inside, dust floated, and on the table, a single phone lay blinking with a message. Her breath caught. Behind the mirror, she turned. A cracked wall mirror hung crookedly near the fireplace. She lifted it and gasped. A hidden door. Her hands shook as she pushed it open. The room inside was dimly lit, warm. A faint hum of machinery filled the air. And there he was. Richard. Alive. He looked thinner, older, with bandages on his shoulder. But his eyes, those sharp, commanding eyes, burned the same. "Richard, close the door, Lindiwe. We don't have much time." Her knees almost buckled. "Lindiwe? What? What is this? What's happening? You're supposed to be—" "Richard. Dead. I know that's the only way to stay alive." He motioned her to sit. She didn't. Lindiwe, you faked your death? Richard, do you know what this has done to us? To the children? Richard, the children, he said, voice cold, were the reason I did it. She frowned, speechless. Richard, I heard them, Lindiwe, plotting. Sifo said at first that the will leaves too much power with me, that the old man doesn't know when to let go Ayanda. She said they could make it look like a car accident. Lindiwe covered her mouth, trembling. Lindiwe, you're mistaken. They'd never… Richard, wouldn't they? Do you even know what they've become while I was away building this empire? He reached for a folder, sliding it across the table. Inside were photos. Sifo, meeting with a lawyer late at night, Ayanda transferring company shares. Tobogo, withdrawing large amounts of cash. Richard, they wanted me gone, so I decided to give them what they wanted, a dead man. Lindiwe stared at him, torn between fear and disbelief. Lindiwe, so what now? You'll stay here forever, watching them like a ghost? Richard, no. We'll watch together, and when they show their true faces, I'll come back to life. He smiled faintly, but it wasn't joy. It was vengeance. Over the next weeks, strange things began happening at the Mokoena mansion. Documents disappeared. Lawyers called about missing funds. Sifo argued with Ayanda almost daily, accusing her of lying about share percentages. Lindiwe, pretending to mourn, was secretly forwarding every move to Richard via encrypted messages. Then one night, as she sat alone in her bedroom, another message arrived, but this one wasn't from Richard, unknown number. You think you're the only one with secrets? She froze. Before she could reply, the phone buzzed again. Unknown number. Check the mirror behind your bed. Her heart pounded. She slowly turned and noticed, for the first time, a tiny pinhole glinting in the corner of the mirror frame. A camera. She ripped it out, panicked. Who was watching her? She typed Richard quickly. Lindiwe, someone's spying on me in the house. I found a camera. Richard, don't panic. I installed it before I left. I needed to see who visits you. Her hands went cold. Lindiwe, you're watching me? Richard, I had to be sure. Trust no one, Lindiwe, not even yourself. That last line sat heavy on her tongue. For the first time since his death, she wondered if the man she loved had turned into something darker. Days later, a voice note arrived instead of a text. Richard's voice, hoarse but steady. They're getting suspicious. Don't let them see through you. If they ask about the estate lawyer, tell them the papers are delayed. And Lindiwe, remember what I told you. The children aren't who you think they are. The voice cut off suddenly, replaced by static. Lindiwe replayed it over and over, confused. What did he mean? The children weren't who she thought? That night, she couldn't sleep. The thunder outside grew violent, shaking the windows. Somewhere deep down, her instincts whispered something she had ignored for years, that the lies in her home had always been deeper than inheritance. The storm raged, and she stared into the dark mirror, the same mirror that had hidden a secret before. Her reflection wavered. What have you done, Richard? She whispered. Outside, lightning flashed. Inside her phone, another message blinked alive. You'll understand soon. Thank you so much for watching this far. Please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share widely. Lots of love.